I'm
It's
hitting the
supposed to
button
be.
again. So I'm not so sure.
It still says
What's
upcoming as far as on my end. It's still saying
really?
upcoming.
No, it's
Yeah,
live. I'm looking. Did you
it's
go to
live.
YouTube? It's live.
Yeah, yeah. I'm on YouTube. I'm on our
Okay, so you see it now.
YouTube channel. No,
Okay,
I'm gonna go on my phone and see.
okay.
But I'm on our YouTube channel.
I don't know what
So,
you
oh,
do.
there
I
it
don't know
is.
what you're doing over there. I don't know what you're doing
I
over
got it
there.
live on my phone now. It's live on my phone.
So, because
I
Billy
got it
Bell
live.
said, "Good evening, Irv and Mike." So we're
Okay.
here. He see us.
I just saw Billy Bell yesterday.
Cool.
We had a watch party. Billy Bell and I spending the day together. There it is. It's
All right.
on now.
There it
It's on
go.
and popping.
There it go.
There it
All
go.
right. Here we go. This is Wideout's World. I'm your host, Michael Timpson. This is my co-host, Irving D. Fryar. And D stands for doggone it. Doggone it.
Doggone it.
Here we go again.
I like that.
Doggone it.
Here we go again.
Yes, sir. Hey, so you doing all right? How's your golf swing? Because you keep talking about golf. You getting any better?
No, I went out the other day and just stunk it up, man. Golf is so hard. It just is hard.
That's why I don't
And
mess
it's
with it. I get
it's
frustrated.
just
That's why I don't mess
it can
with it.
be so deflating and so depressing sometimes. You know, I got a net in my house. I practice in the house. Obviously, it's different out on the course because the ball's not flat. The ground, you got grass, and the shots are never the same. Never the same two shots. So you think you got it. You think you're doing better. You think you're gonna go out and play a good game. I got my swing. Yeah, I got my tempo. I got the feel. Yeah. Man, you get out there and just not fall apart because you don't want to fall apart. And in the middle of the round, I'll get a birdie or I'll get a few pars, but then you got 4 or 5 holes, you just all over the place. All over the place.
Yeah, that's why I don't even mess around with it. I just
It's
go out
hard,
and
man.
drive the cart, and I'll eat, and I go to the driving range. That's about it. That's all you're gonna
You
get.
you can't expect to play well if you don't practice hours every
I don't
day.
expect to play well. That's why I just go out and have a good time. See, I don't
do.
take it that serious.
Because I think more of myself than I should, I guess.
That'll work.
I have confidence in me. You know what, man? I was thinking about this the other day. I don't know if you saw on.
Wait, Irv. Give me your prediction. Tampa is at Detroit. So that's the 7:00 game. And then we have the 10:00 or the later game. That's after that. So give me your prediction on the Tampa and Detroit game before kickoff. Well, it's kicked off.
Baker. Okay, Baker Mayfield mania, Doc. That cat is on fire. He's at another level. Obviously, they're talking MVP right now at this point in the season, but I mean, he's doing it. There's no Godwin tonight. There's no tonight probably. Mike Evans might be back,
right?
But he's been doing it without those guys. And they had what? Tampa Bay had 6 sacks and 10 quarterback hits last week on the 49ers. They're doing all right. Yeah. Jared Goff against Kansas City only threw for 200 yards. And, I don't like Jared Goff anyway. He looks like a flamingo.
You can't make it personal, man. You can't make it personal.
Yeah, but he looks funny in his uniform.
But he's balling. He's playing well.
He's doing okay, but he's not lighting it up like he was last year. He's just not. He's not. They don't have a lot of big plays like they did last year.
Right.
He's playing okay, but Tampa Bay is on fire offensively and defensively. So I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Okay, so
they're at Detroit, but I'm taking Tampa Bay.
They're at Detroit. Detroit lost last week at home. I think they're gonna come out with something to prove. Top 5 defense, defensive their total defense is number 5. But
they got a couple corners out. They got some defensive backs out.
Yes, sir. And that's the thing that scares me. But I'm gonna give the nod because they're home. Mike Evans, as you well know, these hamstrings, man, he's coming back. Ibuka has a hamstring issue. I'm wondering,
Ibuka's not playing. He's not playing.
So he's out.
He's out.
So my thing is, what are y'all doing down there to wide receivers? Because we're wide receivers, and that's what we talk about. Like, what's with the hamstring?
They're not drinking enough water
or something. I'm like, wow. So
and Mike Evans is not a fast guy, so he shouldn't be pulling no hamstrings. It's not like he runs like the lightning. Shoot,
right?
He should be pulling hamstrings for.
This is the second year in a row he's had some hamstring issues.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna
give a little nod to Detroit because they're home. I like Baker. Okay. It's hard, but I'm going to go with Detroit. In spite of the secondary being out for Detroit for the most part, I'm still going to give that to them because they're home. Give it a little
I
3.
like when we
3.
I like when we pick two different teams. That's good. We can find out who's a better selector of these games
All right.
with insight.
Cool. All right. So, NFL
You
news. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
oh no, I just wanted to. I thought of something today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw Michael Irvin's rant about him being able to play during this era, and somebody said to him that he would not have been as good as these cats are, and he went off. And it was good. I loved it, and I agree with him because we played during a time when it was dangerous.
Right.
It was dangerous. And while I was thinking about that, like the next day, I thought about the fact, in 1979, I believe it was, that's when Jack Tatum hit Darryl Stingley.
Yeah.
Darryl Stingley was with the Patriots. Jack Tatum was with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
It was during a preseason game. Darryl Stingley was paralyzed for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
There was no flag on that play.
Really?
There was no flag on that play. There was no flag.
Okay.
That's the kind of hitting. That's the kind of football that we played in. That's the era of football that we played in, where those kinds of hits. Yeah, Stingley was paralyzed, and we don't want stuff like that. God forbid anything like that happen to anybody. But that hit was legal back then.
Yeah.
The way Tatum hit him in the head and just, separated him from the ball, and it was ferocious.
Detroit just scored.
Right off the bat. You watching the game. Right off the bat.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm finding out these teams just score early and get off to a lead. That don't mean nothing. Who was it lost that lead yesterday? Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was bad. So
to
your point,
the Giants lost that lead yesterday, 32 points. They didn't score a point in the second half. Denver scored 33 points in the second half. Good gracious alive.
So to your point that it's a different era, but it changes. Think back to the conversations that you hear about Michael Jordan versus this era.
Yeah.
I mean, so these eras often change, as you well know. So I agree with you that it was different then, but this era will be different than the next era because it's going to continue.
There'll be flag football pretty soon. It'll be flag football pretty soon.
No,
or not. Touch, I should say.
They're not going to make
it'll
any
be
money
touch football.
They're not going to make any money on flag football or touch football. They're not going to make any money that way.
I'll tell you what. It if they put flag football in the Olympics now, and they're sending players from the NFL to go play football in the Olympics. And I disagree with that to a certain point. I'm not saying that the NFL players can't play flag football, but I would dare say there's probably some players who are playing flag football who can play flag football better than some of these NFL players because they play flag football. Okay. It's not tackle football. It's flag football.
I would agree with that.
Just because they're an NFL player they don't automatically, in my mind, qualify as the best to be able to go out and represent the United States of America in flag football.
Okay. So to your point with Michael Irvin with regards to can you play in this era and be successful, I think that's a resounding yes. We all feel that way. That
we eat them up, killing it.
I mean, why would we think that we couldn't do as well, if not better, particularly with the rules that they have now?
Yeah.
So
it's a different mindset, man. You don't have to go across the middle. Not that we were concerned. You have to be like kind of foolish, like we were going across the middle, because I wasn't concerned about somebody hitting me. I didn't care.
You can't be.
You can't. You couldn't care. You had to be reckless and abandon. You really did, and you had to be able to be willing to give up your body and be willing to get knocked out, because there was a high possibility that you're gonna get knocked out when you went across the middle, particularly if you had to jump up for a ball. So I almost took it's an honor if I get knocked out. I did it for my teammates. Man, get out of here.
So here's the NFL news. I had one that I thought about. I
got one too, but go ahead.
Isaiah
Okay.
Rogers. I should have went to you first. Just being the host, I should have
No.
let you go
So
first as a
that's no. You're
guest
good.
host.
You're good.
So
I'm not
Isaiah
the guest
Rogers.
host. I'm a co-host.
Okay, I'm sorry. You know what I meant. But anyway, Isaiah Rogers, the DB that used to play for
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's with the Minnesota Vikings. He got roasted a
Mm-hmm.
couple times last week, and he
Mm-hmm.
said that he had some racist posts or comments on social media after the game. And he said, he got called the N word, and someone said he's worse than Hitler. And he came back and said, just the internet was just ruthless in terms of that. So I wanted to ask you, with things like that in terms of social media and people saying stuff, how did you handle that as a player? I had my way, but I wanted to ask you first. When people saying mean and nasty things in the media, in the newspaper, I mean, whatever, because we didn't have social media like they have now,
Right.
so
Right.
we
Right.
missed a lot of stuff. I mean, we would get a
Mm-hmm.
couple of fingers or moons if we were in Buffalo, something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Right.
But
Right.
outside of that, I don't know how much you endured, if you endured anything. So I just wanted to get your comment on that.
Well, the only thing, I didn't read the newspapers. I didn't listen to the radio.
There you
So
go.
anything that was being said
Yeah.
from game to game, from week to week, even the times when I was getting in trouble, I really didn't listen to it or read it. So it didn't continue. I didn't continue to
Right.
hear it
Right.
and rehearse it and rewind it in my mind.
Yeah.
So it didn't bother me. I'm sure if I were in this
Era.
time, in this era of time, this season, and this, I'm sure I would be watching and listening to
You may
social
not,
media.
Irv, because your
I don't know.
mentality, you know how devastating, and I bet you there's some players that take that mindset. They can't be on social media
Right,
because
right.
it is ruthless, and the things that they say and hurtful things like that. And like you, I didn't read the newspaper. I didn't. I mean, I would
Right.
obviously watch TV, but I just didn't get into the newspaper and things of that nature. And I would turn the TV off too if it had be. And that was the biggest
Mm-hmm.
lesson I learned my second year. You can't
Mm-hmm.
listen to all that outside noise.
Right. I got a story for you. When I was my third year here in Philadelphia, my first 2 years of Pro Bowl years, my last year, we really we struggled. We were a bad team. John Gruden had left. Dana Bible came in, and he was horrible. Bobby Hoeing was really, really struggling. And obviously it had an impact on me. And I started trying to do things that I didn't normally do, trying to do too much, trying to help out Bobby and help the team and to play better. And I wasn't playing well. Then plus I had broken my toe, my big toe, and didn't tell anybody. They told me, James Collins told me, he told me it was a turf toe. So I never really had it looked at, and I didn't find out until after the season was over that I had a broken toe. But I was getting shot up every week on my left big toe, which on the turf trying to run as a receiver stop. It was bad. It was bad. So I was normally I did a radio show. I was doing a radio show with Howard Eskin on Tuesday nights up in Philadelphia, and normally everybody was cool. So this one particular night, and this is how I know that I would have not done well had I listened prior to then, in terms of my years in the NFL, or if there had been social media at the time. But I didn't start listening to stats and people and fans until that year. I listened that year because we were bad and people were dogging us. And but I had 2 good years, and I wasn't playing real bad, but I wasn't playing like I had the 2 years before that. So we're at the radio, a guest on. He comes on the radio from wherever he was at home. He says, "Hey, Irving Fryar, how you doing? You're a great man, and you do this for the community. You do that, but as far as a player, you suck." And it surprised, and I promise you, it messed me up. It literally messed me up.
Yeah.
It hurt because I took it to heart. It hurt my feelings. And it literally messed me up for the rest of the season.
Wow.
It messed me up for the rest of the season. It really did. I don't know why it did, but man, when he said that, it hit my heart. I mean, I was doing the best I could.
Right.
I was playing hurt, didn't tell anybody. And yeah, it just messed me up. So yeah, things like that. If you take it to heart, things like that. If you listen to them, you got to consider the source. And these young players, Isaiah Rogers, but I've never experienced anybody calling me nigger. I've never experienced anything racial like that. We've had snowballs thrown at us. We've had stuff thrown at us, but actually somebody, me hearing somebody directing the N-word towards me, I've never heard that. And that's unwarranted, really. Come on. What did Isaiah Rogers do? He got beat on a couple of passes. What is that? What is that? How does that equate to him being Hitler? That's just asinine.
You know what I've always said to people, just in conversation, because that question obviously has come up just with people that we know. They say, what would you do, and do you hear this and that's that. Here's my thing: we can't go to their job and say the things that they say to us at our job. We can't.
That's right.
So it's something that you just need to tune out. I think that's the best advice we can give anyone. You got to tune that stuff out, and you can't look at it
or hit them back on social media and say, "Come say it to my face." I bet you won't say it to my face. You saying it virtually, but you won't say it to my face.
So you had some things that you had NFL news. What you got?
Just a couple of things. Short. Brandon Graham's coming back.
Man.
That's the word here in Philadelphia. Brandon Graham is returning to the Eagles after 14 years.
That's like you coming back. That's like you coming back.
Not now. I came back after a year. I didn't come back to the Eagles, but he's the longest tenured Eagle ever in the history of the organization.
When did you stop for a year and come back after a year, Irv? When did you stop for a year?
It was just.
Thank you. You didn't stop.
It was an off season.
That don't count.
Well, I retired.
Stopping for a year.
Well, he didn't stop for a year.
Okay, you're right.
During the off season, he's been gone for the off season in 7 weeks.
Well, he ain't retired.
So,
as far as I'm concerned, he ain't retired.
Right, he didn't officially retire. I mean, he did retire, but he's not. He hadn't been out for a whole season. So,
do they
but
need
he tore
him?
his
Do they need him?
Well, they had Ladarius Smith,
right,
who quit last week. We talked about him, and and he was the number one rusher. He had the most sacks, 1.5 sacks. They're not getting sacks like they were last few years.
They're certainly not. Certainly not.
So yeah, if for nothing else, they need him for some leadership on that team, keep some of those cats under control. I'm not so sure he's ready in terms of football shape, but the timing is such that they play the Giants this coming weekend, then they have a bye.
Yeah.
So he gets a couple of weeks to get himself acclimated a little bit, and they're probably only going to play him anywhere from 10 to 12, the most 14 plays a game.
Okay.
And he'll be able to be on the team. Like I said, they can use that kind of leadership. And who knows? He'll probably come in, man, and light it up. Knowing Brandon, he'll probably come in and get a couple of sacks, and they'll mess around and go to the Super Bowl. He get a sack in the Super Bowl. His story, I didn't think his story could get any better, but this is a setup for it to get better.
Okay. All right. Well,
this is a setup for it. And then my other thing was Pete Carroll. I'm really disappointed in the Raiders. Hiring a 70-year-old man to come in and make a difference in the team, and they're just not taking to Pete Carroll's style, and they're bad. They are a bad team right now.
So
he's only going to be here 1 year. He's going to be in the NFL at the Raiders 1 year. That's it.
Do you think it's Pete Carroll, or they just don't have the horses? Because you think about, first of all, look at the quarterback. He was,
What they were not, before the season started. They were not highly ranked, or there weren't high expectations of that team.
Right.
But to play as bad as they're playing,
yeah.
And we've seen Pete Carroll teams ball out.
I just don't think they have the horses. I don't think they have the horses. I don't think it's so much him. I just don't think they have the horses. Because remember, they stunk last year.
Yeah, they
so
did.
Unless you flip that whole roster, they're going to stink again.
Yeah. That's a point.
So,
but I thought that he would at least bring some positive energy, and they would,
Mm-hmm.
win a game or two just because of that.
Well,
But yeah, I
well,
don't want to
I
see.
don't
I
think
don't, and
Tom
plus I
Brady.
don't want to see him do bad. I don't want to see him do bad.
Tom
I don't
Brady's
want to
not
see
gonna
him.
fire. He's not gonna fire him yet. He'll give him another year.
You
He's
don't,
not
you
gonna
don't think
fire.
so? Tom Brady got too much going on, man. He's too busy. He need to sit down somewhere.
All right. So let's go ahead to our top wide receivers for this week. We had
Mm-hmm.
some good ones. I saw a lot of tight ends getting off.
Yeah.
I mean, they're talking about tight end university. Every time I look around, but these tight ends putting up some numbers.
Well, they're just big receivers these days.
Yeah, well, this is true. This
They're
is
just
very
big
true.
receivers. Yeah.
So tell me your top three wideouts, sir.
So my number 3 this week, and I really didn't want to make him number 3, but I really had to make him number 3 because of just the numbers and particularly his average per catch. But because he's a whiner, I didn't want to make him number 3. Wow. But AJ Brown is my number 3. And you know what? Last week I went back and I looked at AJ Brown's numbers since he's been with the Eagles, 22, 23, 24, and this year. And I understand. I totally understand his frustration. I understand why he's upset or aggravated or frustrated with the production that has been coming to or through him.
Okay.
Lack of, no balls being thrown his way, or not as many, obviously, and no touchdowns and that kind of thing. So I can understand. I truly do, based on what I've seen from the last 20, when he got here in 2022, 23, and 24, I can understand. But I would not handle it the way he's been handling it.
That's fair.
But they threw the ball, man.
Yeah.
And the week before against the Giants, Jalen did not play a good game. But this game, man, this cat had a 158.3 quarterback rating. That's like perfect, they say. He was on fire. He was on fire. And it was a great game for them. AJ Brown, they won against the Vikings, Eagles, 28-22. The Vikings had a chance to win that game.
They did.
Well, we'll talk about that when we talk about, because we're going to talk about it later. Okay. 4 receptions, 121, 2 TDs. He had a 30.3 yard average per catch. He had 6 targets, 4 receptions. He had 4 first downs and four receptions. That's pretty awesome. And his long was 45 yards. My number 2 was Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I picked Jamar Chase, one of the reasons, is because he's got no Joe Burrow, but he's got Joe Flacco playing. I was watching the game, and I didn't realize Joe Flacco was on the Cincinnati Bengals. And he comes on the field, and I see Flacco on his back, and I look at my wife. You forgot
they traded him?
Yeah, I forgot. I looked at my wife like, Joe Flacco still playing? And Flacco came in, and man, Jamar Chase with the backup old quarterback, just a week and a half of time to get acclimated to the offense. Jamar Chase set a franchise record for most catches in a single game with Flacco.
But keep in mind now, because of that reason, what you're talking about, he only caught hitches and outs.
No, I know. He was working.
Yeah.
16 receptions. I understand that. But he still was getting it, and he was still getting the ball. Flacco was still getting it to him, and he was they knew the ball was. It wasn't like he was undercover. 16 catches, 161 yards, 1 TD. They were throwing it to him, Doc. He had 23 targets.
23 targets. Yeah.
They said, 16 catches, 9 first downs. He put in, and that's why I chose him, because he not only broke the record, but he with a backup quarterback, but he put in the work. Big catches in the game-winning drive, going down for the game-winning drive. They scored the field goal to win, and the Bengals had lost 4 straight games prior to that. So it was Higgins and Chase versus Ramsey and Slay. Yeah. My number 1 is Devontae Smith.
Okay.
Again, beat the Vikings 28-22. 9 catches, 183 yards, 1 TD, 20.3 yard average, 11 targets. 9 catches, 11 targets, 5 first downs. His long was 79 yards. Jalen Hurts throws a great deep ball, man. So that was season high numbers for Devontae. It was also his career high numbers for Devontae.
Hmm.
In the last three games, Devontae's balling, even though the Eagles' offense had been sputtering. They seem to have gotten on track, minus the running game, but passing game lit up this past weekend.
Yeah.
And last three games, Devontae has 21 receptions, 346 yards, and a touchdown out of 26 targets. So, and I love Devontae. I got my two favorite receivers in the league right now are CeeDee Lamb and Devontae Smith.
Okay. All right. So that's a pretty good list. I
Oh,
don't have. I don't.
what you got? One better? You got one better?
That's a pretty good list. That's a pretty good list. My number 3 is Jamar Chase. I gave him the third slot. A lot of dinking and dunking. Yes, you're absolutely correct. He had the 16 receptions. That's nothing to shake a stick at. Obviously, he had the 23 targets, but he's not getting big plays, and a lot of that has to do with the inconsistency at quarterback. And I can understand it because now you have a new quarterback coming in. Obviously, it's easy. He can do hitches and outs in his sleep, and it doesn't take much to get him up to speed. Being the quarterback, it doesn't take him much to get up to speed to that. So I can understand that. But they're trying to get him the ball so he can make a play. But they're not putting the ball down the field.
Down the field, yeah.
So hopefully that'll change the more that Flacco gets familiar with the offense.
And Flacco will pick it up quickly. Yeah. He got 17 years in the league. He's been around.
But he got a lot of books in his head right now. He got a lot of books. He got a lot of playbooks up there. So confused. Hey, my number 2 is Devontae Smith. Devonta Smith, 9 receptions, 183 yards. He's my number 2 because his teammate is number 1. What I liked about AJ in this game, we saw him do some things a little different. Now, let's go to the one where he had the sluggo that he scored on.
Oh, that was awesome! But I think that was a play. I think it was a play. It was a blitz.
Blitz coverage.
But they had thrown. I think they had thrown a couple of slants.
Yeah. So here's
the
thing that I attribute that to. That's good coaching, because as well as I do, typically a side adjustment is a slant.
Oh, but that's why the DB was stupid.
He squatted. Not only that, they did a blitz zone. They dropped the backer out underneath the slant.
Right.
So they took it away there, and the guy sat on it. The corner sat on it up top. That's why he was toast. The minute he gave him the inside move, it was a wrap. So
that's why. Go ahead.
That's why it's coaching. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think they did a good job coaching that, knowing that they were going to do that. And it was a nice. He didn't stay down in the slant part long. He just hit it and he went on up top. So he did some things different. I like that. And here's the other one. The other one was the seam ball. I mean, you got the DB in a trail technique. I don't know and he just went right up the seam and he zeroed it in there. Touchdown. So I saw some good things out of him. So he's my number 1. What are you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say on that sluggo, that was really stupid call play by the defensive coach, because they need a first down. You're going to blitz. They're going to blitz. They're going to try to get the ball out quickly, right? So you thinking if he's playing off, and he was 9 yards off. I was watching it. He was 9. Yeah, he was 9 yards off.
Yeah.
He was not. I guess he was trying to bait him to run a slant.
Right.
I guess that's
because you had the underneath the guy coming from underneath.
Right.
Exactly.
So he's 9 years off, but he jumped when AJ gave him a little wiggle. But as a defensive back, it's a blitz. And I know the Eagles run slants or they run goals for their blitz routes. So I'm going to get up and I'm going to play him at bump technique. And now he's got to throw a go. He's not going to run a slant.
That's 50-50. At least I agree.
Yeah, at least I don't have to guess. Right. I make him run a go. I get up, take out the inside, and make him run a go, and then try to play defense.
Okay, I see that. That's good coaching. I got
rather than standing back trying to guess.
Yeah, because he could have ran out. He could have
ran out. He was 9 years old. He could have ran out. He could have ran anything. He tripped all over it. But that eliminates, if I'm up and I'm pressed as a defensive back, and I know I got a blitz, and I know that in the past, the Eagles really, have struggled against the blitz a lot. So they're going to throw the ball So he's not going to take his time to try to move me or manipulate me to try to get under me to run a slant. He's going to run and go.
But now, okay, put your coaching hat back on.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing that was disappointing to me. I love Flores, but you don't have the DBs to go no man to man. You ain't got no shutdown corners. That was pretty
not against Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. You don't know.
You don't have no shutdown corners. So all that, and he loves to go man to man because he loves to blitz. But you ain't got the horses back there to to shut down those the wide receivers. That was pretty obvious to me.
The hope in the blitz for coaches is to get the quarterback to get rid of the ball sooner than he wants to. And then, if you can, like I said, if you can eliminate or take half of the decisions away from the offensive players, like I said, like getting up in his face, playing bump, make him run a go. He's going to run a go. So now I just got to defend it.
They don't have that kind of confidence. How many times you saw them bump and run against?
They didn't. But you can't. Guys, like, you can't stand off 9 yards. What are you doing? That's easy. That's cake. That's not even one-on-one in practice.
So you said you can suit up right now and go out there and catch.
Yeah, shoot! I go out there and run some routes. You playing off me 9 yards? That's ridiculous. You can't, and you can't do that when you got a blitz. You got to make that. You got to
have those.
You got to disrupt the timing.
Yeah. As
a defensive back, and that you do that by getting up close and trying to put your hands on, at least getting to change direction.
Yeah.
So it was a bad call by the Vikings. They deserved to lose that game. But that was a bad. I believe that catch in the end zone by that tight end was a touchdown.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you see that?
I agree.
Because when the ball,
let's go to the game, Irv, since you're on it. Let's go to the game and go ahead and 28-22 Eagles won against Minnesota. So give me your analysis on the game.
Well, I believe it was first when I thought something different, but when I had it was a game of two quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz. And when I found out Carson Wentz, because I was a little skeptical when the Eagles were going up there to play because of what happened, obviously, with the Giants and what had happened prior to that. So I'm like, oh, man, they're going to go up there and struggle. Then I found out Carson Wentz was starting at quarterback.
What y'all got against Carson Wentz in Philadelphia? What y'all got against him?
I don't have anything against him. I just know, listen, the worst thing that can happen to an NFL player, particularly a quarterback, happened to Carson Wentz.
Okay.
So Carson Wentz, when I was going to the Giants game, they were showing that season where they won the Super Bowl. They were showing that season highlights on the TV in the bus. And I didn't realize Carson Wentz was balling that year. Man, he was balling. I mean, he really was playing well. Then he got hurt, and Foles comes in.
There you go.
The Super Bowl and catches Philly and wins the Super Bowl. Right. That's the worst thing. If you're not tough mentally, that's the worst thing that can happen to a player or particularly a quarterback in the NFL. You're starting, you're playing well, you get hurt, then your backup comes in and wins the Super Bowl.
Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe.
So here's Drew Bledsoe, So Carson Wentz, and you ain't hear nothing about Drew after that. He still played a little bit like Carson, but he was never the same. So after that, Carson comes back the next season and he's trying to play. Things are not going well. So as things are not going well, obviously he's got this Super Bowl and Foles over his head. People start hollering, put Foles in. Listen, he started pressing from that time moving forward, trying to do too much. He hasn't been the same since. And I know for a fact that when he got the nod to start against the Eagles, at some point, he was going to make some stupid mistakes.
Sure enough.
Because he was going to press, just like he was pressing in Philadelphia. Now, the best thing for him was to get out of Philly. But now to play against Philly, he made some stupid mistakes. Let me see, I got it written down here. Carson Wentz, too many mistakes. Here's what Carson Wentz did. Second quarter, facing the former team, second quarter, he rushed a throw that led to a pick six. Then stuff got out of real crazy.
Was that the one he was
on his
next one scramble?
Yep, on the next pass attempt, he threw the ball backwards for 8 yards, 8-yard loss. The following snap, the next snap, he got flushed from the pocket and threw up a prayer that was intercepted. 1 of 6. Come on. Then he threw that one ball, intentional grounding. What was he doing with that? I've never seen that before. He just threw the ball in front of him down the ground and looked around like, I didn't do that. Who did that?
I didn't do that.
It was bad. It was bad. And Jalen Hurts was just the opposite. 9 of 23, 326 yards, 3 T, 158.3 quarterback rating. By far, Jalen Hurts' best game.
No question.
Best game.
No question.
Really, this season, particularly against an aggressive defense. Jalen throws. He doesn't throw like in holes and snap the ball and throw it with velocity, with a lot of spin and quickness. But man, his long balls, those rainbows, man, he throws those things.
Yeah.
He's got like the prettiest one. He throws like who is
Russell.
it?
Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Like Russell does that too. He threw a 37-yard TD to AJ Brown and a 79-yard TD to Devontae Smith and another 29-yard TD to AJ Brown.
Wait a minute. Don't even tell me about the one with AJ Brown when he had the strong safety on him, number 44, trying to that was off. I'm like, why you got the strong safety on AJ Brown? He's killing it. But go ahead.
Curry, yeah, they can't keep up. 5 of 5, 216 yards, 3 TDs on passes of 20 yards or plus. And iced the game with a 45-yard bomb on a blitz where AJ was down the field and stopped.
Yeah.
Jalen scrambled out and told him go and just threw it down the field. That was pretty.
Number 44.
Yeah, that was pretty.
Well, you make a great point about Carson Wentz. He pretty much justified his ouster from the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. And he had good numbers. Mike, he had good numbers. I think he was 4th out of the top 5 in stats this week with quarterbacks.
Well, but like you said, he's going up against his former team. Obviously, you start pressing.
Yep.
You know what really got me with the Eagles? They went 75 yards in 12 plays on the opening drive. They quieted all the noise. At that point in time. So here's the thing that has me concerned. They threw the ball great, yes, but their running game. Do you know the Eagles are number 28th in running the football? Now, I don't have to tell you that rush game is going to be needed later. Cold weather's coming. Old man winter's coming. And they're not going to be able to chunk that ball. They're going to need that. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to get burned like I did last year with the Eagles. I'm going to believe they have the DNA to get it together. And they're going to put it together when it counts. But they need the running game to get going. So it was a good game. Like you said, Minnesota could have won that game. But they can't run the ball. They need a running back. Bad. They need a running back. Bad. So, again, I've talked about the corners. First of all, you can't be a corner and you have pink gloves on and pink shoes and you getting torched. That's number 2.
He's just standing out.
I'm like, you can't do that. It's like, when you put on number 1, it's a target on your back. You got to be a baller.
That's right.
You can't.
You're supposed to be the best player on the field.
And you can't go out there with pink shoes, doggone, pink laces and pink gloves, and you say, "Hey, come!" You just like a target on your back. Come throw it at me. And sure enough, they just they toasted it. So, good game, but
you're right. And they got a couple more injuries. The Eagles, I'm talking about. Cam Jurgens went down and started center. They put in a guy by the name of Toth. He came in and played center. I don't know if he did really. I mean, I guess he did a decent job, but that's the problem with the running game, the offensive line. If you sit and watch the game,
that's always been a strong point. I mean, is it that much change?
It's always been a strong point. Yes. Well, I don't know why. I really don't know why they're not getting the push that they normally in the last 4 or 5 years that they have been getting. That's why they were touted or statistically the best offensive line in football, in professional football. But right now, if you watch a lot of times when Saquon gets the ball from, and they went under center quite a bit this week. But when Saquon is getting the ball from Jalen, there's people in the backfield already. Saquon's got to stop his feet to try to change directions because the offensive line's gotten pushed back. So the problem is, it's not Saquon with the running game. The problem is the offensive line hasn't gotten it together yet. Now, I'm of the mindset, and I'm in agreement with you, that I do believe at some point they're going to get it together. I would like to see them. The Giants are tough against the run, but I'd like to see them do that this week against the Giants. But they got to start. It's the offensive line. It's not Saquon. People here in Philadelphia are crying Saquon, that the Saquon, he's older. You got too many carries last year. He's beat up. He's slow. He lost a step. Nah. And the whole game starts up front.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter offensively or defensively what goes on with the linebackers or the DBs or the quarterback or the receivers or the running back. If the line's not getting pushed, it doesn't matter what they do back there.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And that's where the problem is for the Eagles, is that offensive line.
Well, where are they playing the Giants at? Is it
playing
home?
Giants at home this week? Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna pick the Giants. The Giants. I love doggone Dart. He's giving them a
Scatterboo and Dart.
Oh yeah, man. I just like the energy, but
they had a sign up there when the Eagles played the Giants a couple of weeks ago. They said Saquon who? We got Scatterboo.
Oh, they got a lot of good energy. All right, so your Cowboys. I know how much you love the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Washington played at Cowboys. That was the 4:00 game of the week. Your thoughts, sir?
Again, it was a game. It was a game of quarterbacks, and oftentimes these NFL games today, it boils down to who plays better at the quarterback position. And Dak Prescott right now, man, he's playing as good as anybody at that position in the NFL right now. They've scored 40 plus. The Cowboys have scored 40 plus points at home every home game. This season so far. Yeah, they're putting up points. CeeDee Lamb came back, 70-yard touchdown. CeeDee Lamb he got all his catches and all his yards in the first half. They didn't throw the ball to him in the second half because they had the game so tied up.
They didn't have to. They didn't even have a secondary Washington. I'm so disappointed, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But Washington, and Washington's got a bunch of. CeeDee Lamb had 8 targets, 5 receptions, 110 yards, 1 TD. After being out, had that in the first half. Didn't catch the ball in the second half because they didn't throw it to him. But the Cowboys' offense is playing lights out right now, man.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb had a TD. Tight end Jake Ferguson had the TD. George Pickens was a problem. He's a problem for everybody. He's on fire, man. I like the way he's playing. His energy.
Yeah, he's playing. Yeah.
He got born again. He's born again. He was a problem. He was a problem for the Commanders. But the Commanders got a lot of injuries, man. Yeah. Terry McLaurin.
All 3 receivers, all their top 3 receivers.
Deebo Samuel, Noah Brown. Yep. Remember we talked about Terry McLaurin when he was holding out and how when a player doesn't come to training camp, they come in, they start playing. That's what I'm afraid about with Brandon Graham. They come in and they get hurt. They get some kind of injury.
So let me ask you a question. I'm going to pause right there for a second. Okay.
Okay, because I got something else I want to say.
Put yourself in Terry McLaurin's shoes. You're holding out. You think, they're going to give you your money. When you come to show up to camp, what do they call it? Hold in? When, people show up to training camp and they don't work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What would you be doing?
I'd be practicing, basically.
I mean,
if I'm going to go there and I'm not holding out where I'm not in the facility. I'm not at camp. I'm not at practice. I'm not holding out, but I'm holding in. I'm actually at practice. Well, guess what? If I'm at practice, I'm going to be practicing. I might not practice with my pads on, but guess what? I'm Terry McLaurin. Oh, let me say it this way. I'm Terry McLaurin. I'm the number 1 receiver on the Washington Redskins. Okay, y'all are working out in pads and stuff like that. I'm gonna come out here and jump in the route line and get my route.
Something. Exactly.
Yes, sir. You think the coach gonna stop me from coming in and running the plays and stuff like that, but not getting in contact or not? I'm gonna be doing football stuff.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to be doing football stuff. So yeah. Plus that looks good anyway. Yeah, I'm not playing no preseason game, not till y'all give me my contract, but I'm going to get out here and get my work in.
Now, to his credit, we don't know what he did when the cameras weren't on, but that practice field over there that they're not using, I'm out there running routes, I'm out there sprinting, I'm out there doing all of that stuff. But every time I saw him, he was walking and talking, just eating
because
peanuts.
He wasn't doing nothing. He wasn't doing nothing.
Sunflower seeds. Every time I saw him.
And that's what he's doing now. He walking and talking.
So I was like, wow.
And then now Jaden Daniels got hurt again. He got a hamstring. I thought it was his knee when he got hit. But he's out again. I don't know.
It was his knee. 2 games with his knee. Now it's his hamstring.
Right. Now it's a hamstring. Yeah.
They took an MRI today. It's not that serious. But every time he runs, we hold our breath because he's thin, and we just like they're gonna break him up.
He got to stop. He got to. But then Marcus Mariota came in. Listen to me. I was talking to my wife. When Marcus Mariota came in the game, I said, "Baby, watch. He's gonna throw an interception." Because I've been told by quarterback experts. I can't divulge my information.
Okay.
But Mariota goes to quarterback camps, and one of his coaches at the quarterback camp I've talked to before, and they said Marcus can't throw the ball. He said Marcus, he can't throw the ball. He just can't throw it. He went in the game. I promise you, Mike. I told my wife, I said, "Baby, watch. He's gonna throw an interception." 2 plays later, pick 6, 68 yards. 68 yards. I started laughing. That cat, he's laying on the ground. You see him laying on the ground on his back? Like, oh my God. Did I just do that? Yeah.
I don't know. Because I had high hopes for Washington, but they just seem to be very inconsistent offensively, defensively. And I think a large part, they don't have their bell cow. Their bell cow was McClung. He got things going. Yeah. Obviously, if we can get everybody back, I think they can do something before it's too late. Hopefully, they can all get healthy, and get back before this thing gets, because that whole NFC where Dallas and Washington and all that's going to be crowded. At the end of the day, that's going to be a crowded division.
Yeah, well, Dallas seemed like Dallas is going to be right there, man.
Yeah,
it's going to be right there.
We never thought that, but they will.
But I think that's one of the things. Hats off to the Eagles. They get their players signed early, so there's no issues. There's no guessing. There's no problems. There's no tension. Any of that. Everything's settled before camp. Everything's settled during the off season. Sometimes even the season before, they'll give guys new contracts, and it's done. So you don't have to worry about.
You know why, Irv? They work as a team, whereas Jerry Jones, it's his way or the highway. But teams like what you're talking about, they work as a team, as a unit to get these things done. But that's not how he works. So
right.
So your Cowboys. Last part, I'll end with this. It's interesting to see how they do. Jake Ferguson, the tight end that you talked about.
Right.
He has been his go-to. He has 51 catches and 6 touchdowns. 51.
Yeah. Well, that's because CeeDee Lamb hasn't been in.
Right. But I'm just saying he utilized that guy. He became his blanket, and he's now 51 catches. Now you got CeeDee and Pickens back. They're going to be, everybody's going to have to give them put a little respect on Dallas's name. All right.
Oh, yeah. Well,
go ahead.
You have to. They're scoring, man.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not a fan of Dallas Cowboys, but Dak Prescott has always been, when Kellen Moore was his offensive coordinator, he's always been a top-rated quarterback in my mind.
Yeah.
In my mind. And now, he's chunking it, man. That dude there is having the ball.
So the Sunday night game, let's recap that one. I'll start. The 49ers won against the Falcons. Now, I've said some things about the Falcons, particularly a week or so ago when they won the game. I like the Falcons, but they just seem to sometimes just get in their own way. I mean, they couldn't run the ball last night. The 49ers seemed like they was just on a mission. They put CMC out there, and I mean, he 72 receptions.
He was running
129 yards, rushing, 2 touchdowns. And here's the thing: George Kittle didn't catch any balls. Their top 2 receivers, Juwan Jennings and Kendrick Bourne. Nothing that you ain't fearful. This ain't
Right.
Taylor
Who are they?
and Rice.
Who are
Exactly.
they? Yeah, who are they?
So you had all those things happening, and then all of a sudden they come out and boom, you know. So I just don't know why the Falcons just can't be consistent. Drake London, who had a great game the prior week, now he had only 4 receptions, but they targeted him 10 times. The week before he had 10 catches. So just consistency, man. And like you had mentioned it, and I'll give you credit. You said the same thing about Penix, is the fact that he's not
Right.
consistent. Now this is just his second year, so
Inconsistent.
I'm not
Right.
expecting
Right.
him to be that inconsistent. I'm expecting to be a little bit more consistent, but this is what we got.
But that's why I don't trust him, man. He just there's something about him. It's almost not as bad as Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz, you just kind of expect him to do something boneheaded, to make a mistake, to do something wrong. You do just kind of expect it to happen. And I think defenses, I'm a 63-year-old man, retired for 20 some years. I don't have anything to do with the NFL. I know these defensive coordinators are telling their defense the same thing. He's gonna give you a ball. He's gonna make a mistake. All we gotta do is just play tight, wait him out, and he's gonna make a mistake. But yeah, I just who did they play? I'm sorry. I was thinking about Atlanta. Who did Atlanta play, man?
Who Atlanta played?
Yeah, last night. My train of thought. I lost my train of thought.
Wow.
My God. And we lost your camera. What you do with the camera?
Technical too. You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Keep talking. It'll come back.
Who did Atlanta play last night? I forgot.
Atlanta played the 49ers.
49ers is right. I was CMC is who I wanted to talk about.
CMC.
He seemed as I was watching the game, I didn't watch all of it, but as I was watching the game, he seemed to be on a mission. I haven't seen him run like that in all the last season and the year before. It's been a while since he's run the ball like that. Every time he got into contact, he always managed to squeeze out another 2, maybe even 3 yards. It looked like he was stopped. He was done his forward momentum, and he'd get another 2 or 3 yards after contact with guys on his back. So, and then he was catching the ball. That's just what he does. And the 49ers are at their best offensively when he is running the ball like that and catching the ball like that, regardless of who else is participating, whether it's Kittle, whether it's the other receivers. But when CMC is on point like that, he's a big part of that offense for the 49ers. And they can count on him because he can do anything. And he blocks well as well. So, yeah.
Well,
he was the story last night.
The technical difficulties here.
I don't know what you did. You did something.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on here. So we're gonna work this out.
We got 6 minutes.
We're gonna try and work this out. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on.
6 minutes, Dougie Fresh. No, 6 minutes, you off. So it's funny. Just me. So we got last night. Wasn't the Rams and Jaguars? Was that last week?
No, that was last week. That was last week. So
could throw that to the side.
So where we have now, Irv. You hear me okay?
The Texans. Yeah, I hear you. The Texans and Seahawks tonight.
The Texans and Seahawks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Texans coming off a bye. Texans they have the number 1 defense in the league right now, man. They're only giving up.
Texans?
Good.
Texans?
Yeah.
You can't say that with a straight face with Texans. Texans aren't doing jack.
They have the number 1 defense in the league right now. They have the number 1 defense in the league right now.
Not sure
They're
why.
only giving up they only give up 12.1 points per game, and they're 4th in yards per game, giving up yards per game. I mean, obviously they're not doing anything with Stroud on offense. Up to this point, Stroud has thrown 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and he throws for 200 a game, which is not a lot. Okay. But he's played well the last couple of games, and seems to be getting better. Seahawks offense, 1 for 12 on third downs last week, and 1 for 3 in the red zone last week. Not good.
No, it's not good.
Not so.
Okay.
I'm going to. I mean, I know they're at Seattle, but I'm going to pick the Texans. I
Really?
like their defense. Yeah, I like their defense. And at times Stroud does get it together. At times he does play well.
He's having the sophomore jinx, Irv. That's what's
He's
wrong
having
with
a sophomore jinx. He is, but I think for some reason I feel this game defense has been. I mean, they only won 2 games, but the defense is the reason why they won the 2 games. And I mean, Seattle's not a great team. They're okay, but they're not lighting it up. I'm going
Well,
to take the Texans.
let
I'm
me
going to step back.
let me tell you why Texans have no shot. Number 1, the 12th man. Number 2, the leading receiver in the NFL is Smith and Jigba right now. 56 receptions for 696 yards.
That's only because Puka Nacua went down.
Well, that's true. But got to give credit where credit is due. Sam Darnold. Resurrection of Sam Darnold. I mean, who thought? Between him and Daniel Jones being the comeback player of the year, there you go. So the Texans haven't played well the whole year. Not one game have they played well.
Watch.
Okay. All right, let me write it down.
You said that a couple of weeks ago when I picked Jacksonville to win.
But wait a minute. We've kind of went back and forth. Yeah, they said a broke clock is right at least twice a day.
Well, I picked it, like I said, I picked it when it was right.
Okay, so I'm writing it down. I'm putting if.
I'm not saying the Texans are going to go to the playoffs. The Texans will not make the playoffs this year, but they're going to win this game.
Okay, if they win. I'm putting if right there. Just Irving Fryar. If they win.
If they win.
All right, so I'm going Seahawks all the way. Seahawks
Okay.
all the way. All right. Wow.
I like the Texans.
While we got a few minutes left, let me see. But Billy Bell, Mama McGee, DW, Casper's here. Hello, everyone. Billy Bell. Sorry about the technical difficulties as I was hosting with the mostest today. Had a little
with the most
technical difficulty there.
He hit a button. He didn't know what he hit a button. The button shut him off.
Yeah, because my light went out and I was trying to fix it. And then I hit something.
Oh, is that what it was? The light went out. Okay.
Yeah, my light went out. So I was trying to, take care of that. But I'm back. All right. So let's end with this, Irv. Let me get your perspective on, real quick, Jackson Dart and the New York Giants. What do you think?
Well, I don't think. I mean, he's a rookie. It's hard to predict. I think he's got a lot of energy. I think as a rookie, he's playing in a way where he's a surprise or unknown to defensive coordinators. Right. So it's hard to game plan against him because, I mean, he's only played, this 7th week now. So he hasn't really shown any tendencies. So you really are having to, guess a lot when you're game planning against him and Scatterboo, who is the other rookie. I think he's got some moxie though.
And they got Abdul Carter, the backer on the defense. So they got some energy. Yeah. I'm just liking that.
And that's what I mean when I say he's got some moxie. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not because I was watching ESPN this morning and some of these cats were like, oh, the Giants are this and the Giants. And I'm like, just because they had a good game and look, they lost it too.
Yeah, that's true.
The
fact that they went to Denver and played well and was up. Nobody expected that.
Yeah, but how do you not score any points and get 33 points scored on you?
Because they got the big head.
Well, that's the
why.
rookies.
Think about it. The rookies, they're like, hey, whoa, hey. There you go. Yeah. So
they thought they was a man. I think he'll make it interesting. It's almost here is he's a Baker Mayfield his rookie year.
Yeah. But isn't that perfect for New York? Isn't what that energy?
Oh yeah, he's gonna make a lot of money. He's gonna get a lot of endorsements. He'll be the great hope for New York for sure. Yeah, he's perfect for New York. He's got a lot of personality, a lot of energy. I just hope that as he continues to run the ball the way he does. Obviously, he's a little bit thicker than Daniels, that he gets a little bit smarter
Yeah.
as he's the next few years in the league. He's going to do that this year because he's a rookie, trying to make his mark. But he and both Scatterboo can play and play well, and let's see how long they last as they make their imprint in. But I imprint in the league. But I like him. He's got great energy. He can play. He can actually play. He's got skills. But I think of him as a Baker Mayfield in his rookie year.
That's fair. Okay.
And great athlete, great potential. But I believe as defensive coordinators start game planning again, figuring him out, that it's going to take him several years before we start seeing whether he's going to make it or not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair. All right, sounds good. Okay, man. Well, I just wanted to get your opinion on that, but we are at the top of the hour, my friend. And Eddie Casper said, "Didn't Tommy Cutlets start out hot? This ain't Tommy Cutlets though. This ain't Tommy Cutlets.
Eddie Casper, funny man.
This is a notch up from Cutlets."
I had fun with those guys yesterday, man. We had a ball.
That's cool. All right, man. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Oh, we will see you next time. This is Wide Out.
You got to push the button. I don't have the button.
I got the button. I'm Michael Timpson. This is my host friend, Irving D. Fryar. Doggone it. And
Irving, doggone it, Fryar.
We will see you next time, same channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Wideouts World. Peace.
Wideouts World. Peace.
You got it.
This has been Wideouts World. Touchdown. The legends, Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson. Are you freaking kidding me? If it's football talk you're looking for, I think we've got you covered. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on YouTube at Wideouts World. See you next time.
Let's go! Let's go! Go!